things that I've learned in my journey trying to get rich in my teenage years and now in my 20s. So I kind of broke this down into like 10 little bullet points here I've got noted, and I'm kind of just gonna go off of the dome off of those. Number one, and I feel like this is something that I talk about a lot, but can never really emphasize enough, is that skills make you rich, not money. Regardless of how much money you have in your bank account, that doesn't matter. But what actually matters is the skills that you hold. Let's say, for example, you come across some, I don't know, random meme coin or like crypto trade or some shit that magically gives you $1 million in your bank account. With due time, that $1 million is going to go away. But if you make $1 million doing something that's actually valuable to other people with some form of skill set that you've worked so hard to build, not only will you now have that $1 million, but you have that skill set that you use to acquire that $1 million that you can now continuously use over time. You don't become valuable to other people just because you have money. You become value to other people when you have skill sets that you can provide to them. So focus on becoming a master of your craft, not just making money and achieving the results. Regardless, when you have skills, you can always utilize those skills in some way to provide value to other people and to make money. So now lesson number 2, speed matters more than perfection. Money is a game of speed. Money loves speed. And as soon as you can realize that and start moving at the speed that money loves, money will come to you much quicker. So now, this doesn't mean to not do everything to your fullest potential, to half-ass certain shit just to get it done quicker, but to go full force at everything you do with the highest intent and at the fastest pace possible is how you genuinely build the momentum that's needed in order to start working faster towards that result. A lot of beginners especially tend to sit there and just overthink and think that they need the perfect plan in order to just start. But instead of trying to formulate the perfect plan, just start. It's literally that simple. You learn through the process of hands-on doing it. You learn through trial and error. You learn by simply moving fast and making mistakes. Okay, so now lesson number 3, environment changes everything. Now this could be the area that you're surrounded in, the people that you're surrounded by. But I even remember, like, for me, this one really hits because I used to live in a small town where no one was trying to do anything even similar to what I was trying to do. It was like a small town in Wisconsin, population of like 8,000 people. And I was trying to learn all of this online business stuff and figure out like what I wanted to do with my life. And it's not like I felt like I was better than these people because I felt like I was some form of outsider and trying to do something bigger and better. But it was like so by the book that where I grew up to just go to school, graduate, go to college, graduate, get a job, and then like work, meet your wife, have kids, and just like retire and live that normal life. And I have always realized like that's not what I want to do with my life. I want to experience a different lifestyle from what everyone else around me experiences. I want to like create my own reality that's worth living, and I want to be able to set my future family up and give them a life that's worth living. And so I always just knew like that small town life was kind of just a stepping stone into the life that I now live, and at some point like I was going to make the change and shift. And so that environment for me was just hard because no one around me had the same mindset as me. No one thought the same. I kind of just felt like an outsider in a sense. But I think that that was a good stepping stone for myself. I think it was crucial that I had to be in that environment to realize that that wasn't what I wanted. And I think it really pushed me to realize that shit, this isn't what I want. Like, I need to strive for more. So I think even if you're in a situation that you don't like right now, utilize it for what you can, realize the advantages that it's giving you right now, and make the most of it. Because even now, like, years later, when I'm out living my dream life in my dream city with the dream people I have surrounded around me, like, there's times where I look back on that and I'm like, damn, there's certain aspects of that I miss. So I know some of you guys are going to be commenting like, oh, but none of my friends have the same mindset as me, but where do I find these like-minded people? And I know, like, that can be hard. That's something that just comes with due time. Like, even my friends now, none of them I knew years ago. We all recently became friends within the past 2, 3, 4 years. And all of those relationships just kind of naturally were given to me by God, I feel like. It wasn't something that I forced. It wasn't something that I went out seeking. It just, like, I was focused on my own grind and my own journey and my own path and my own success, and then those people over time naturally come into your life. It's like, if you want a girlfriend, you don't just go out and find some random girl to make your girlfriend. Like, it always comes when you're least expecting it, and it just happens naturally over time. It's not like you just go out and seek one and say, oh, I'm gonna have a girlfriend now. Like, has to come over time. It has to come naturally. So now that brings me to point number 4. Most people quit way too early. Like, you guys have to remember, when I started all of this shit when I was like 15, 16 years old, I didn't make money for the first like 4 years that I was doing it. But I was so fucking determined to make it happen that all I did was sit there and grind my ass off every single day until I was able to achieve the skill set that I needed in order to actually make that first dollar on the internet. So many people get wrapped up in seeing other people's success, other people's wins, the shit that other people have, but they forget like that is not the reality of it. Everybody sees the wins, but nobody sees the thousands of hours that went in to achieve that win. Like, even right now, I'm sitting behind these cars. You see the win, but you didn't see the thousands of hours it took me of working my ass off in order to be able to get these. So it's like, don't compare yourself to other people. Don't rush the process. And remember, like, it's your journey versus your journey. It's you versus you. And as soon as you let other people get in between the battle of you versus you is when you just start to fuck your own head up. But in reality, most people quit too early because they're just lazy. They don't see the long-term vision and they just expect the results too quick. But you have to remember that in the early phases of grinding, you are so fucking stupid. You have so much to learn. And you have to accept the fact that going into something new, it's going to take you a long time to actually achieve that like skill set that's necessary in order to actually start seeing that result from what you're trying to do. You just have to be willing to accept that and be willing to do what it's going to take in order to actually get there. And I think the biggest piece of advice I can give to those people is just learn how to fall in love with the process, because it's going to make the journey much more enjoyable. All right, lesson number 5, income beats saving early on. I can agree with this one heavy because I think it's crucial for every single person who starts making some money in their early stages to get some of that like stupid purchasing and those dumb financial decisions out of the way. Even right now, like these cars behind me. Now, you know, these cars, I'm at a place where like I can afford these vehicles. But when I first started making money, there was a lot of money that I spent on just dumb shit. And looking back at it, I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I wouldn't have spent some of that money. But also looking back on it, it was like I had to like reap the rewards of my hard work in order to really understand like what I was working for. Because now I look at some of these things and I'm like, okay, these cars are really cool, but like they don't actually mean that much to me, you know, like they're cool to have, but they don't actually like bring me genuine fulfillment. And I think purchasing things like, you know, these cars, expensive house, expensive watch, whatever, it allows you to realize like what you actually are working hard for. And for me, it's like I just enjoy working because that's what brings me genuine fulfillment. I enjoy posting these videos because it helps people. I enjoy, you know, running my businesses because they help people. I enjoy just being able to have financial success because that allows me to have freedom. So I think it's crucial that when you start making money, you shouldn't save it all. Like, as dumb as that sounds, you really shouldn't, because I think that purchasing some stupid things can allow you to feel what you needed to feel and like reap the rewards of that hard work that you've been putting in. And again, I think it also opens your eyes to be able to realize like, okay, I bought these dumb things. Now I don't really care about them that much. So I have to go back to square one and realize like, okay, what actually makes me happy about this journey and like about this path of trying to, you know, get rich. And for me, I never really realized like what it was until I got some of those stupid purchases out of the way. And now I realize like, okay, you know, it's really not these things that make me genuinely happy. These things make me happy, yes, but like genuine happiness, no. But like I wouldn't have realized that they didn't do that for me until, you know, I went out and I bought them. And that's even why you guys have kind of seen me like selling some of my cars lately, because I sold the M3, I sold the Trackhawk, the Aventadors over here, and then I have the Porsche and the Cullinan, but I've got to sell the Lambo too, just because I've realized like, okay, this is too much. I'm gonna sell some of these cars because these don't like genuinely make me happy. You know, it's cool to have a couple, but I don't need 5. It's just over the top, you know, and that's not the stuff that I need in order to try to fill myself with happiness. I'd rather just like have that money and put that in the stock market now that I've realized these things and I've went through these experiences. But I think that those experiences for every beginner who starts to, you know, reap some of the rewards of their hard work, it's important for them to go through these phases of life. And I genuinely think that everything I've experienced in my journey, whether it's, you know, dumb financial decisions or bad things that have happened to me, whatever, I think every single thing in life happens for a reason. And I think it's really important to try to take a lesson from every single dumb decision you make or every single bad thing that happens to you. Try to take the positive out of it and realize like, what is it that God was trying to teach me through this experience, and use that to your advantage to like learn and grow and become a better person. So it's even like, you know, the dumb financial stuff for me. I've spent a lot of dumb money, but I have to look at the positive, and rather than saying, oh, I wish I had that extra, you know, $50,000 in my investment account and didn't spend it on a stupid trip or a stupid, you know, stupid clothes, whatever. It's like, okay, I spent that $50,000 and I wish I wouldn't have spent it, but what did I like learn from spending that $50,000 on clothes? Okay, I learned that I don't really care about clothes, and now I can like know that moving forward, know that, you know, I don't value clothes that much, you know, whatever it is. But I think everything happens in life for a reason, and I think with everything that happens in life, there's always a lesson to be learned. All right, lesson 6 here. I think this is a really important one. Confidence comes from competence. So what does that mean exactly? Essentially, confidence comes from doing hard things repeatedly over and over. Like with freelance brand scaling, when you close deals, when you sit there and cold call $100 every day, when you handle pressure, when you put yourself in difficult situations where you have to do a lot of problem solving, just doing hard things naturally makes you more confident. You can't fake learning skills and becoming better at those skills by doing them over and over and over, even though they're hard. You can't fake that. And through doing those things, you become more confident over and over and over with time and time again. And you can't fake confidence either. Like, you have to go through these experiences and do these things hands-on in order to build the confidence that's necessary in order to complete that task. And I think confidence in business is so fucking important, especially on like the sales side, which, you know, a lot of you watching this video do freelance brand scaling or do something similar that involves sales. And the number one thing that's going to make you successful in sales is confidence. The only way to build that confidence is by doing it over and over and over again. So for a lot of you who are trying to start cold calling or who have recently started cold calling, you guys struggle a lot of times with like the confidence over the phone. But you have to understand the only way you're going to build that confidence is by doing it. It's like even with boxing, you know, there's certain opponents that I can be nervous to step in the ring with. But after 1 time doing it, 2 times doing it, 3 times doing it, 5, 10, I get more confident over time, and it becomes like second nature. You know, everybody always says like in boxing, like when you spar someone new or when you have your first fight, like you get gassed out way quicker because you are nervous. But then when you go and spar someone who you've already sparred 10 times, or you spar your homie or spar someone who you know is way worse than you, it's like you could go 10 rounds without gassing out. It's because your nervous system, like when you're in the ring and when you're nervous, like it gasses itself out quicker because it's working to keep up with your nerves. But then when you get in the ring with someone who you're comfortable working with, comfortable fighting, comfortable sparring, whatever, it's like second nature to you because you've done it so many times and you have that confidence built up. Okay, lesson number 7, most opportunities come from people. This one's pretty simple, but like every opportunity that you get in life stems off of some form of person, whether it's a business partner, whether it's a friend, whether it's a girlfriend, whether it's, you know, a friend of a friend, whether it's a family friend, whatever it is. Your network can really shortcut years of struggle. And this is why I think it's so important to build communication skills, because just your network alone can provide you so many opportunities that can set you up for the future. Opportunities don't just like usually come from ideas, because even when an idea is formed, you still have to find the way to execute it, and a lot of time that's done through people in your network. So the more you can build that network, the better. Okay, lesson number 8, focus is a superpower now. Obviously in 2026, in today's day and age, as sad as it is, everyone's focus is cooked. We have things like short form social media, every single social media platform, video games, every single distraction. We have so many fucking distractions, making it easier and easier for your opponents in this world, in this life, to keep getting sidetracked. So if you can manage to be the one who can focus, you're light years ahead of those people. The average person's dopamine receptors are so fucking fried. They're literally like the equivalent of a goldfish. So if you can just manage to focus longer than majority of people, you're already winning. Like just in itself, the ability to sit down and work for 2 to 3 hours a day is rare. And we already know that rare skills pay well in this world. All right, lesson number 9, getting rich is more mental than tactical. I honestly, like when I started everything, thought that getting rich was more about the technical side of things and different strategies and different this and different that, but majority of the battle is all mental. It's being able to handle rejection, uncertainty, delayed gratification, risk, failure, all things that mentally fuck the average person up. And if you can't handle those things, no strategy is gonna save you. But if you can, eventually you figure things out. All right, lesson number 10, and this one's pretty simple, but the biggest mindset shift. It's as simple as this. When I first started doing everything when I was 15, 16 years old, I had to come to the realization that nobody else was going to come to save me. If I wanted to achieve what I wanted to achieve out of life, I had to come to that realization, and I had to go and do the things that were necessary in order to get there myself. And even in today's day and age, I'm only 21 years old. I have a lot of life ahead of me. If I don't still come to the realization that no one is coming to save me, I'll end up going off the track that I'm on right now and losing everything that I've worked hard for and not set myself up for the future in the way I want to set myself up. So even today, even tomorrow, even a week from now, a year from now, I have to understand that no one is coming to save me, and I have to do the shit that's necessary in order to get to where I want to be in life. No one is going to hand you the blueprint. No perfect opportunity is coming. You just have to figure things out as you go. And honestly, that's what separates most people. Majority of people will sit there and wait, but there's a small percentage of people who will go out there and build and figure it out for themselves. So be that small percentage of people. But now, kind of last little closing message I have for you guys is that if you feel like the 15, 16-year-old Brez and you want to start working towards a reality and a future that's worth living, but you don't know where to start, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to overcome your current shitty mindset, just understand that you can only save yourself. I would focus on literally anything, just learning skill sets that are valuable to other people. Learn sales, learn how to talk to people, learn how to build relationships between you and another human being, learn how to do marketing for a business, learn how to write copy properly, learn how to literally do anything that can get you in the field. There's no shortcuts, there's no magic trick. You just have to realize that you have to do it for yourself, and you have to realize that no one is coming to save you, and you have to build a skill set that other people can see value in.